Malachi chapters 4 and verse 1 says, For behold, a day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and a day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Giving our praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yehoshua Ba'Hashem, Charakah B'dash. Double honors to our elders that taught us his truth, and to all the sincere elect out there, keep on fighting. We almost out of this bitch. So, yeah, man, in the year of apostate, sellouts, and agents, and Jacob's trouble, we're going on. It was, we had our innings. The title of the video: we had our innings. Now it's your turn. And that day that cometh, gonna burn as an oven. Right? And all the proud shall be wickedly. All the proud that has done wickedly shall be stubble. That means nothing left. So we had our innings. Land back into my video I did yesterday. It's another good day. Any day that we are not an Edomite, any day that we are not an Edomite, right, and we're still here and we're still serving the Lord with fear and joy and trembling, that's a good day. And we've had our innings. Now it's your turn. Just gonna, just go through some of this. It's just that this Lord put on my spirit that I woke up to. So our innings, right? The term, what does it and innings mean? And innings, I couldn't resist it. It's a reference from sport, and it makes sense. It just makes sense. An inning is one of the divisions of a match during which one team takes its turn to bat. One team takes its turn to bat and is said to be in to bat. Innings is the subject of law 13, law 13 in the laws of cricket. Right? It's also in the scriptures. Actually, it's in the laws of the scriptural laws, right? The laws that's in Deuteronomy, that's in Leviticus, also in Exodus, right? It does come in the 10 Commandments. It does fall into the 10 Commandments. Whatsoever man soweth, that also he shall reap. And it's also an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, an arm for an arm. Right? We can go on. So it does fall into the scriptural laws, right? Yashua Allah, our laws, according to the Bible. But it's also, they've put it in, in other means, because it just makes the game work in cricket and in other sports as well, because it makes the game make sense, and it just makes the game run smoothly. The laws of the scriptures always make sense. The laws of the scriptures always work. They never fail. Right? So the law in 13 in the laws of cricket, in the first class match, there are up to 4 innings, which each team due to bat twice. In practice, this is not rubber. There you have it. That's the point, and that's what it means. What does it mean on the team? What does it mean on the team? On average, or in process of turning, changing, and we're seeing a changing now, because we've nyam it all up, right? Going back to the scripture, Malachi 1, we've nyam up the dregs of the scriptures. The dregs, thus saith the scriptures. We've yammed it all down. We've drunk it all down. Now, here it comes, and it's coming for you. This is your innings, E. This is your turn. It's your turn. For behold, the day cometh, Malachi 1:4-1, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and that includes all those in the Senate, right, in the White House, in Babylon, over here in the mother of Babylon that gave birth to Babylon, right, the heathen nations, all at uno, right, the 10 kings, right, then you have the revived Romans, the 10 kings, EU and NATO, they all disfragmenting, right? Because what did they do with us? They fragmented us as a people. They used that term The term is divide and conquer. They used that against us when we was on the cotton field, right? You had the in-house and the out-house. You had the Willie Lynch letter, right? Well-known letter. They separated us by color, by all kinds of stupidity, actually. But hair texture, color, man against the woman, and up to this day, that pattern is still in perpetual motion, right? The Willie Lynch letter, divide and conquer, is still in perpetual motion. That's why you got, you know, divisions among us now, right? Also, the divisions among the tribes, right? Well, that's coming together. The breaches are being broken. That's coming together. That's coming off of us. Hence, we're seeing divisions now going on to you. That's Deuteronomy 30:7. That's the curse is going upon you. E. So it's a saying of the world, what goes around comes around, but that what goes around comes around, that's a saying of the world. But that also goes back to the laws of the scriptures. Because now it's your turn. For behold, a day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. All the proud, including the wicked of our own people, because the 2/3, that's prophecy, have to be cut off, right? The Goyim nations, right? We're seeing the fragmentation now. That's in Daniel's chapters 2, right? We're at the feet of the image. We're at the feet now, and that great millstone, as I mentioned yesterday, is getting ready to be leached or be pelted to break that clay and the iron, which is not sticking together, right? The last empire. So it's definitely in perpetual motion, right? We've had our turn, now it's your turn, right? For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up as an oven, right? That's WW3. Right? We know, we can see the scriptures, we can see what's happening over there in the so-called Middle East, right? Over there in what they call the Persian Gulf, right? Trump, Nero 47, he's sending, weighing in on sending 10,000 troops over there, which is, it has been said by their own in-house, right? Their own intelligence officers. A lot of them are resigned. A lot of them have resigned. Their intelligence officer, Harrison Mann, he's come out and said if that happens, if he ever does that, sends 10,000 troops over there to the Persian Gulf, near to Kuwait, near to Saudi Arabia, right, in the borders of Iran, we're never going to see them again. They're going to be trapped there, and they're going to be used as hostages by what's remaining of the Iranian leadership. They're going to be used as hostages, and that's their ground troops, which is 12,000. They have altogether 12,000 ground troops. They have 5,000 troops in general that control the air, which are the planes. But the ground troops, most of them ain't coming back, right? They set them on the ground, right? That's 10,000 out of 12,000. We're never going to see them again, and they're going to be trapped there, and they're going to be spoiled to the enemy. They're going to be used them as hostages and use them as bait, and bartering chips for the Iranians, right? Which is prophecy, because all the nations now are coming against these. They're well and truly hated. Thus the scriptures say, the weak shall say I'm strong. And all the nations are gathering up together now, for there is a controversy that's taking place. That's why the Most High is setting the stage. He's setting the stage for to be devoured, well and truly devoured. The weak shall say I'm strong. So that's all in perpetual motion now. So the US, this is your time. We're in that time now, right? You're going to burn as stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Sabaoth Awaf, right? The Lord of hosts in the Hebrew. Yahweh Sabaoth, right? The Lord of hosts in the Hebrew, going, right? He doesn't take else, right? Yahweh Shimon Shai. And the stage is being set nicely, right? And it shall leave them neither root nor branch. They're going to be burned up nothing left but smoke, as the scriptures say, right? Like just like Sodom and Gomorrah and the other, Sodom and Gomorrah and um, the other three that were burnt alongside with them. Was it? Matter of fact, let me. The other three. So you had Sodom and Gomorrah in way of reminder. Sodom and Gomorrah. Is it? What were the other cities that were destroyed alongside Sodom and Gomorrah? That's it. Zeboim, Admah, and Zoar. It's just on the tip of my tongue, but there you have it. Right, that was burned up, right, destroyed, and Lot flee to Zoar, and he eventually went and hid up in the mountains because that was also destroyed. So that's coming around again. And this is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, modern day Rome, modern day Egypt, right? And all the examples that I've mentioned have been destroyed. Modern day Rome was destroyed too, the ancient Romans. So that day is coming. All right, so we've had our turn. All right, back to that. All right, it's going to be a change of the bat, a change of the turns, a change of the rounds. Right, it's all about taking turns, which go back to whatsoever man soweth, that he shall also reap. And the ones that oppressed, those that oppress you shall be oppressed. Yeah, just to make the point here, this is the icing on the cake. Daniel chapters 9 and 12. And he hath confirmed his word which he spoke against us, against our judges, yep, and that judge us by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Yep. So imagine that. He loved us. We're his people, his chosen people, as the scriptures say, right? But he gave us a beating. He gave us a good beat down. And why did he give us that beat down? We got the scriptures to back that one up too. Why did we get that beat down? Here's the answer here in Malachi 1. God love for Jacob. Yeah, the burden of the word of the Lord is to Israel by Malachi. Right, so this is why we got that beat down, right? There's no nation that suffered like Israel. Right? I have loved ye, saith the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not the devil Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness. Whereas Esau, Edom, saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, right? Because they're the border of wickedness, and what is going around is coming around upon them. That's why we see brothers doing videos of them sulking in their cars, saying, what can we do now? We're losing our white privilege. We no longer can just run things in the ground like spoiled children, as Cain cried too when he got caught with his hands in the cookie jar after doing something, caught red-handed, something very wicked and evil by deleting his brother Abel. And he was crying and sulking like a spoilt child. And hence today the spoilt children, the seed of Esau, are doing the same today, just because they no longer have the advantages, hold the advantages over his brother. So they're sulking, talking, crying, unfairness, just like what spoilt children do. And it's for their wickedness. But I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. But it's now coming upon you. This is your turn. It's your turn. It's your innings. Yeah, he has indignation for you forever. He did have indignation for us. Or the right word really is discipline, which came through love for his people. The discipline that was put upon us and it is not being any kind of form like compared to any other nation, because he loved the love for Jacob, which was discipline through love, controlled discipline. Right? And when it's through love, it's controlled. But when it's coming down upon you, it's gonna be fierce. Yeah, it's gonna be controlled, but it's gonna be a surgical strike. Let me just say that. Isaiah. So here's the last one. Isaiah 40. Isaiah 34:5 says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment." That's the cursed people. They're the well and truly cursed people. And I'll just hit some of my favorite precepts. Line backing off the video I did yesterday. It is another good day to wake up knowing that you are not an Edomite, because they've had their run, they've had their innings. Right? They've turned the world upside down inside that. Right? That's why the Most High is saying, right, that enough is enough. You've reached your limit. Right? The scriptures say that he has appointed the boundaries that he cannot pass. He's reached his limit. And now the tables must turn. And that is what you call justice. That is what you call equal. That is what you call a balanced scale. An unjust scale is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is righteous in the sight of the Lord. Right? So that's what you call balance. Yeah, they're celebrating their good. Today they call it Good Friday, right? Which originates, when you just look at that, right? Where does it originate from? The commemorates the crucifixion and the deletion of what they call Jesus, right? They call it good, right? Good refers to, and it's all folly at the end of the day. We just got to just dash where the bones. Definition of the word, right? Which we know, the definition of the word holy means separate. One chosen to be separate, and we're the true holy people, right? And they got their high holy days calling it good. I know one thing. What is good? I know one thing. What is good is what the law of the scriptures say, right? What goes around must come around. Whatsoever man soweth, that he shall well and truly reap. That's what I call good, which goes back to the laws of the scriptures. So the Wadeo Bashim Shai, Kala Yeho Bashim Shai. We had our turn. Now, thankfully, justly, according to the law, it's yours. We on to the next.